Teddy Feinberg, Brook Stockburger, Teddy and Brook Show for the audience. This is the last show of the 2012-13 academic year. We will be back in August of 2013 at the start of football. We love doing the show weekly. Summertime, obviously, it's kind of a downtime in the world of sports, and we don't want to bore you with our expertise on Major League Baseball every single week.
We could do it, but we don't want to bore you.
We don't. So we're going to take a little hiatus for a couple months. We'll be back in August. But the sports season is not done yet. We do have the 2013 state baseball and softball tournaments. On the baseball field, we have Cruces High as the number 6 seed, Oñate as the number 8 seed. These tournaments are in Rio Rancho and Albuquerque. That's for 5A. In 4A, the Santa Teresa boys are the number 3 seed. In 2A, the Mesilla Valley Christian boys baseball team is the number 3 seed. And of girls, we have 2 5A programs, local 5A programs in the state tournament, with Cruces High as the number 1, Oñate as the number 10. Brook, are you looking for anything specifically this weekend in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho in the 2013 tournaments?
Yeah, I think 2 things. Sunblazer baseball is very interesting. 7th year in the postseason. They go up there. They've really been stout. We'll see what they do. Cruces softball, very interested to see. Obviously, a very talented team. Number 1 seed. A lot of it will come down to their pitching, their arms on the mound. See how they get that fast pitch across the plate, and if they can, hold the other teams down in scoring. They got decent defense behind them, and they can pound the ball.
Yeah, they have a potent batting order, and obviously when that batting order is clicking on all cylinders, they're explosive. They're capable of real explosive things offensively. As Brook alluded to, pitching is the real issue. And again, when you get into these state tournaments, you're not playing some lower-end district teams or out-of-district, some soft competition. Everyone's very good. Can Cruces High beat Carlsbad or district rival Alamogordo in the state tournament for softball? That'll be the big test. Oñate has a big test Thursday with Carlsbad. Carlsbad's number 2 seed. In terms of baseball, Cruces High baseball obviously is the number 6. They're facing some very good competition up there now. Your Sandias, your La Cuevas, your Rio Ranchos, your Carlsbads of the world. It will be a huge test. I do not think District 3 5A was particularly strong this year. Obviously, Cruces High really rolled the district. Once we get up to Albuquerque, play some of those Albuquerque-based teams. I already mentioned Carlsbad. Then it becomes a real challenge. Brook mentioned Mesilla Valley Christian. It'll be interesting to see what they do. And Santa Teresa's really put together a nice little athletics program over the years when we consider their state basketball success, state baseball as well. So we'll see what the Desert Warriors do up north. Let's move on to the 5 burning questions. We always go way over our time slot, so hopefully we can kind of fit it under today. First question is, will Aggie baseball win the WAC tournament?
No. I would like them to, of course, but I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either, unless they completely catch lightning in a bottle. Obviously, getting swept at UTSA last week really hurt. I do wonder about some chemistry issues on the team. It just doesn't seem like things have clicked all year for Aggie baseball. Again, they're going to have to get very lucky late in order to win the WAC tournament. The odds are against them, that's for sure. Question number 2, what's the need or some of the needs this offseason for Aggie athletics?
Well, very interesting to say. The one thing they need that they won't get, obviously, is a lot more funding. This is a program that, maybe the school just can't afford it, but the team that needs to step it up to be competitive with the Utah States, the Troys, the different people like that out there who are comparable size schools, in some cases even smaller schools. So it'll be interesting to see what, we have a new president at MSU, how things play out here.
What changes will come there? Obviously, Gary Crothers is known for his fundraising ability, his negotiation tactics in Santa Fe to get money. Obviously, raising money for a Division I athletics department is a completely different animal. Clearly, they need some funds. Also, with a new president, could we see some changes in administration? That's another thing to keep an eye out for. There are some things that could happen. There are some things that, it wouldn't hurt to happen. We need to see how things play out. I do think the number 1 thing is funding. More money brings more success. Easier said than done. Let's move on to question number 3. Brook, what will you remember most from the 2012-13 sports year? Obviously, it encompasses a lot, but what stands out?
Well, the football schedule, for one thing. The way they started out, the whole football situation, they get their win in the first game, they look pretty good, and then they can't win after that. They just can't. And it seems like each week they got worse. They were competitive in their first couple losses, and then things just sort of went downhill from there. And then they have a coach that just sort of decides to go somewhere else. You bring in the offensive coordinator from Boston College, and he steps up and becomes the head coach. So that's a lot of change. And then, of course, they have to go independent, all that sort of situation, trying to put together an independent schedule with a lot of top BCS type conference schools on there. So, yeah, definitely Aggie football is what sticks out.
I think those are great things. There was a very busy sports year, just looking back on it. I hate to leave anybody out, but when we consider Brook mentioned Aggie football, Dwayne Walker leaving, obviously the presidential change, Couture out, Crothers eventually in. That was, that obviously affects athletics. I think one of the things that's always going to stick out to me also was the success of Las Cruces High School. Obviously, the boys basketball team won state, football won yet another state tournament. We could have softball win. We could have base. Cruces had a great year in sports.
Yeah,
they had a cheer competition. They won Davis Chung individual golf championship the other day. So there was a lot of success for Cruces High this year. So that also stands out. There were a lot. Oh, and of course, Aggies getting into the Sun Belt for football. I mean, that was a big deal too, and further disintegration of the WAC. Austin Trout. It was a very busy sports year, and frankly, going into my 7th year here, it was the busiest one I've ever dealt with.
Coach Menzies gets to the NCAA tournament again with the Aggie basketball team.
There you go. Folks, thanks for checking us out as always. At Teddy Feinberg, at B Stockburger on Twitter. Of course, lcsun-news.com for the latest and greatest, and our Sun News Sports Facebook page. So thanks for joining us.
See you in August.
See you in August.